Page 26, Sarabande. This is from a keyboard suite by Handel. Notice it said keyboard, not piano. They didn't have pianos back in Handel's time. It was keyboard. Whatever the keyboard was, usually organ or some such thing, but a keyboard. It's not important. We'll do it on piano. Time signature, 3-2. Oh, this is cool. 3-2. Well, we know 3 beats in a measure, or you're going to count to 3. That's what the top number is. But the bottom number, now we're counting half notes, because the 2 stands for half. So it's like the equivalent of 3 half notes in every measure. So it's like, look at the first measure. Half note, beat 1. Half note, beat 2. And then the quarter rest, quarter note together make a half, that's third beat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. See, we're counting ands because of the quarter notes. The quarter note is on the and. Isn't that cool? Fortunately, there's no eighth notes or nothing, so we're just dealing with this. Right hand, you have the chord. 1 and 2 and rest. And the rest gives you a chance to move. I recommend you just do a 5 on the G and then a 3-2. And then you got another rest, you can come back up to their fingering. And then a 4 is good. The second measure, second line is 1-2, 1-3. This prepares you for what's coming. Because I want to connect the A and the B flats. It leads into it. 2 and 3. And to move up. And then come back down and do that again. But I prefer a 5 on that quarter note. So I can do a 2-3 on the half notes. And then you're doing all that again. Go down to the third line. The first measure, look out. It's a D, G, B flat, and then a C. See, it changed on you. They do that sometimes. And they come up. And now second measure, third line. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3. So what's the counting? And then the last line, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and the fingering, you're pretty much stuck with their fingering here. No other fingering works. And that you'll have to rely on the pedal to hold things together. If you're using a different fingering, because you can't put a thumb on that B flat, the pedal is going to have to connect things for you, because there's no legato fingering I can find that allows me to connect all these notes with the fingers if I use the second finger on a B flat. Because here I could do that, but it just gets really awkward. It's like changing one awkward thing for another awkward thing. It's like, so I'm recommending, strangely enough, just use their fingering if you can. Until you get to the quarter notes at the third beat of that last line, the first measure, the A, C sharp E, I would do that 1, 2, 4, and then a 3 on the D, and then change here for the last measure. So that last line is here, like so. The left hand is accompaniment, and then sometimes it has to come out as part of the melody. It's kind of important. So at the beginning you have the octaves, the D's, and then they're saying thumb on the A, and then cross over for the B flat. No, I mean, you don't have to do that. If you can reach it, you can play that A with third finger instead of thumb, and you're in position. But if your fingers or your hand's not big enough to reach that, then you're pretty much stuck with the thumb on that crossover. Got a lot of octaves going on here, so if you can feel that octave without looking at it, it'll help you eventually. Third line, second measure is 1, 3. Last measure of page 26, it's 1 and 2 and 3. Then cross over for the thumb at the top of page 27. And you're doing all that again. Now let's go down to the third line on page 27. You're here. That's an E. And then they're saying 4-1. If you don't want to do that, then you have to use little finger on the D instead of the 4th. So it's here, here, crunch up and go. And you can reach up, and then a 3 on the G, the last line, 1. And the last measure, they're saying 2-1. That means play it with the second finger and immediately substitute the thumb for it. So while you're holding it down, you have really big hands and you can reach that, you don't have to. But otherwise, you're going to substitute for the left hand. So work it out one hand at a time and play it as legato as you can. Fingering wise, try and connect it, except of course for the wrists. And then try the dynamics. It says medium loud, and this is going to be for the right hand. Now, second measure, yeah, watch out. You're here. The right hand comes up when you play the A quarter note in the left hand, so watch out. Watch the second line, second measure. Again, the quarter rest, watch out, because it comes when the left hand plays the B flat, the right hand comes out. And all of this is just medium loud. That's just basically the same thing. And then the last measure of the page, the right hand, when the left hand plays that F, the right hand comes up, it's a rest. And then you have a decrescendo, now you're going down to soft. You're playing it again, but this time it's soft. Now medium, you crescendo up to a medium soft, just a little louder. Now up to a medium loud. So you just gradually get a little louder. And 2. And the last line you go up to a loud. Here. That's where you're after. Okay, here. That's the climax of the piece. And then you come back down. And there's a retardando. And then off. Now the tempo here is andante con moto. Andante is a nice strolling, nice leisurely pace. Con moto is with motion. Not sure how you're going to put all that together, but I'll leave that up to you. It's just a nice strolling pace with motion. I guess that means don't stroll too slowly, is what it is. So the speed is, I think about the speed I've been demonstrating is the speed it should go. Now we add pedal. We kind of need the pedal here because it's going to add a lot of overtones. We're going to want a lot of overtones here, and it's going to connect things together because these chords, it's hard to do it with the hands. It's like at the beginning, I can't connect that without the pedal. The piano won't let me. There's always a little bit of silence in there. Watch the pedal here. We don't want to smear it up too bad, but we want to connect the chords together as best we can. So at the beginning, I'm going to pedal the first 2 beats, and I'm going to lift it up on beat 3 so I hear a rest. So it's here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lift the pedal up, usually here at the beginning on beat 3. It looks like the first couple of lines it's beat 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. And then in the third line they're saying legato pedal first 2 measures. I disagree. I still want to hear that rest in the right hand, so I'm saying don't pedal the last beat on the first measure. Lift up on the second measure so we hear the rest. And they're saying pedal that. And that's okay, you can pedal that at the last quarter note if you want, just make sure you change it on the next measure. 3. 3. And then the same pedaling on the next page. Lift. 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 Again, now, third line down, we're going to change it on each half note. But I say don't pedal the last beat. I want to hear the rest in the right hand. And then go ahead and legato pedal this. And then up on beat 3 on the end. So the last 3 measures, you can legato pedal all of that. That's fine. And that's what I suggest on the pedaling. Let's try this out really slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. You can do the dynamics and all that. There's not a lot of phrasing going on. It's just kind of all connected except for the rest. We need to hear those rests if we can. So I'll give us 3 counts, but they're half notes. We're beating half notes. So put your hands where they go. Right hand, left hand, the foot's on the pedal. 1, ready, go, and 1, 2, 3. 2, 3.